School shootings have become all too common here in the U.S. We're not even halfway through 2022, and already there have been 27 school shootings across the country. That's according to Education Week. With the rise in school violence, it's nearly inevitable that parents will need to address this with their children. So here for more analysis on this is Maureen Brogan. She is with the Traumatic Loss Coalitions for Youth at Rutgers University. Thank you so much for joining us. I had to tell you, this kind of hit home for me because I have a kid. She's home. She was home. She's home throughout the week, and this came on the news. And I was really torn because I wanted the information both as a professional and also as a as a concerned citizen, but I did not want her to hear. She was in the other room doing some religion homework. And I didn't want her to tell her to go upstairs because then I knew she'd become even more curious. I did not know how to handle it. So what advice do you have parents? And my kid's 11, but their kids are different ages. What advice do you have parents when it comes to talking about these sort of school shootings? Do you even bring it up? Do you take a different approach based on their age?
Thank you. Such an important conversation. And I think what we really want to stress for parents is that there is a time and place, but the conversation needs to happen. I admire the fact, too, that you were able to absorb the information for yourself, take it in, give yourself a little time as a parent to process what's going on for you and sort out what are some of the facts, how may this impact my child. Don't start a conversation until you are ready to start the conversation. Children are so in tune with adults, especially if you're in a caretaking role, like the parent or the guardian. They read your nonverbal signs. They can almost get your vibes of what you're sending out. So if you're really sad, if you're really anxious, if you're really scared, that's not a good time to start the conversation. Give yourself a little time of stillness, a little time of peace to kind of make sense of something that's not going to make sense to any of us, never mind our children. And then have the courage, and I really say as a parent, it is be brave and approach the conversation with your child. With younger children too, always start out with, have you heard? What have you heard? Because they may have heard more than we think they have. Going into school, chances are, whether it's at recess or in the lunchroom, or maybe there has actually been conversations in the classroom, there have been conversations. So we want to make sure as parents that we're supporting the whole idea of when things are scary, when things are sad, when things frighten us, when we're angry, what do we do with that? We need to have conversations. And as parents, I'm a parent of a teenager, making sure that they know that we can hear this. It's okay for you to have any type of reaction, all these emotions. Think about it. We as adults are having a mix of emotions from being scared and being angered and being frightened. Imagine what for our children that they're feeling. They're probably thinking that, oh, wow, the world's becoming a little overwhelming. Human beings like to feel like they're in control. As we get older, and if you're a parent, we start to realize there's not so much within our control, and we develop skills to work through that uncertainty, to navigate times of uncertainty. What we're doing too, when there has been a tragic event, we're given an opportunity to model for our children help-seeking behavior, compassion, support, connectivity. So this is an awful, tragic event. And our hearts are broken for that family, for that community. But as parents, what we can do also is when we're talking with our children, we don't minimize that this is a loss.
So
that it's going to take time.
Let me ask you, my daughter, I'm just sorry, everyone, I'm kind of using this personal example. She hasn't said anything about this. And I've been waiting for her to say something. Sometimes kids don't act the way we expect them to act, the way we act as adults when we're reacting to something we think is traumatic. How will you know if your child is having, an issue with this sort of stuff?
And part of it too is, and you're really smart to look at it, is if they're not talking about it and you do bring up the conversation, they may say no, I'm fine. Look for things in their behavior. look as have they've changed their way of being in the world. Do you have a child that's a good sleeper that now is not sleeping as well? Or do you have a child that doesn't sleep very much that now wants to sleep more? Are there any change in their eating behavior? Do you have a kid that has a great appetite that's now starting to say, I don't really feel hungry at all? Look for some of those behavioral cues too. If you have like a happy-go-lucky active child who now seems a little withdrawn, start to ask few more questions to be like, hey, I noticed that you haven't asked to go out and play with your friends. Like, what's up? You don't immediately have to go to even the school shooting or what's in the news. The important part is having a conversation, setting that tone to be like, I can hear this. I noticed this is going to change in your behavior. Is something going on? What's up? And let it be open-ended so they can come to you to say, oh, kids were talking about this, or I'm kind of feeling sad, or I don't know what I'm feeling. So again, it's all about opening up that the door to have the conversation, but really look for things like, do you see that there's an element of sadness? Do you see some that they are actually crying? Are they moody? Sometimes you have a teenager, I have parents saying like they're moody all the time, but what is their norm of being in the world? What are they like on a day-to-day basis? And then as a parent, are you noticing any changes in that behavior or that presentation of how they are in the world? That may be something that you can start that conversation with, to be, again, I noticed that. And hopefully they'll start to verbalize that. Younger children sometimes need to draw. They're not going to like share, like they're not going to be able to verbalize what I'm feeling. So maybe take out some paper and just be like, hey, draw something today. Draw something for me. What was going on? What was school like for you today? And then take a look at that of what are they trying to tell us, maybe in a nonverbal way.
Maureen, it's all great advice. As parents, we wish we could just sort of wrap them in bubble wrap and put earplugs in their ears and control everything they're exposed to. We cannot do that anymore, even more so nowadays. And so you're giving us some great advice. Maureen Brogan, thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Thank you.